And welcome back into another Garnet Trust exclusive interview, joined today by Christian Beal-Smith. He is a South Carolina transfer running back who joined the program from Wake Forest before spring practice. Christian, man, we appreciate you taking the time today. How's everything going with you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. So, obviously, you guys have finished up spring practice, and you're kind of in that little period when between spring ending, I guess the semester is over. You haven't
Mhm.
quite started summer workouts. So, I guess for the fans out there, one thing about these Garnet Trust interviews, we like to give the fans a little glimpse into the window of the life of a South Carolina football player. So, what does May look like for Christian Beal-Smith?
Um, I'm really doing nothing but just working out. I'm going to the facility almost every day just to, get a little quick pumping. A little, a little bit of running, just so I can stay in shape for the upcoming summer workouts because I know they're going to be tough.
Yeah, so I would imagine um, May is a little bit of time where you can maybe like reset, but you probably don't want to reset too much because you probably know in the back of your mind these Luke Day workouts in the
Oh
summer are they're coming up. They're not
yeah.
that far away. What was it like diving into the Luke Day workouts when you first got to South Carolina back? I guess that would have been January, man.
Yep. It was different. My first day, I got slaughtered. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the first day, like I feel like Luke Day's workouts is just very intense. They're not normal. They're not. They're not something. They're not. That's not something that you do like on a regular basis in a gym. So we're doing bear crawling. We're crawling backwards with chains on our head. I mean, he's a good guy. Like he's a good. He knows what he's doing. He's definitely getting us prepared for being in uncomfortable positions. Like maybe it's late fourth quarter game. And we have to we're in a tough spot, and we got to stick together and come out, play as a team, just to get the team win.
What was that like? I know I saw on like social media. I know the video team does a good job of giving everybody a look and a glimpse at some things y'all do. Y'all had like a training day towards the end of
Mm.
winter workouts, I think, where they took y'all out on some buses and y'all are like out in the field. And
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It looked wild. What was that like for you? Had you done something like that before?
that honestly is probably the worst day I've ever had. Just in a good way though, like from a workout. I was pushed beyond like what I thought I could do. You know, it was just it was a hard environment. It was dust being all in the air. We had to jump over. We had to do like it's like a military training kind of. We jumped over wooden blocks that were like maybe like 5 feet tall. Iron. We're dragging people on harnesses. Like we're always competing against each other, and that's what I think I like about South Carolina because you know they don't want you to get comfortable in your position. They don't want you just because you're a starter. They don't want you to feel like you're on top of everybody. Like everybody's getting a shot. Everybody's getting burnt out. Everybody's doing the same thing that you're doing. You're not like in South Carolina. Nobody's better than anybody here, and I like that about it.
So man, I gotta imagine you're rolling out there on the bus. You maybe I'm not I don't know if they told y'all what was coming, what was ahead for you. Did you have any idea what was gonna happen, or what was like going through your mind as they're like taking you on the bus out into the middle of nowhere for this final day?
I had in my head, I thought it was going to be something, just fun. We were going to go and do like a team tug of war, offense versus defense. Um, but once we got out there, oh no, it was an interesting day for me.
Yeah, and I think like I've seen teams before. They'll do like, oh, let's go play paintball for the last day or something.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you're thinking it might be some fun team activity, and Luke Day's like, nah, man,
Uh,
we're finishing this thing off with a bang, I guess.
oh yeah.
But that tracks from what I've heard and seen from Luke Day, man. So let's sort of rewind it all the way back to when you entered the transfer portal. You start looking at other schools. I don't think you've really done many interviews kind of about that decision to pick South Carolina. So if you can, maybe give us an idea just of what the experience was like entering the portal, getting contacted by a bunch of schools, and then the process of ultimately ending up with South Carolina?
Yeah, so I mean, when I first entered, I was scared. Like I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know if I was gonna get looked at by a SEC school or another ACC school. I mean, I thought I had to go down in a level. So, when I first entered, I was scared. I was like, "Oh no, like this is my last season. I want to go out with a bang." Um, but I was getting contacted like maybe like 20, 30 minutes of entering the portal, and I was just like from a whole lot of different schools. But I mean, when I got that call, I mean that text from Coach Monterio on Twitter, um, it kind of just like the way he like, approached it, the way he stated each word, it kind of like, okay, like I want to talk to him. I want to actually get to know him as a coach. I want to get to know him as a person, or as an individual. So, you know, I mean, we got on the phone. Coach Monterio was telling me like how he played at Tennessee, played in the league, and he started to ask me about my personal life. I mean, not
Mhm.
really. I mean, some coaches do that. Some coaches aren't good at doing it. But Coach Monteiro just hit home with me. Like, he wanted to speak to my mom. He wanted to talk to my dad, my brothers. Like, he wanted to get to know who I was as a person. And I think that's what kind of landed me here. I didn't really know much about South Carolina. I didn't pay attention. I grew up Wake Forest in North Carolina, loving Wake Forest since I was about 8 years old. So,
Mhm.
um, I was kind of scared to get out of my comfort zone because I mean, I'm from Winston-Salem, so I grew up there, been there 22, 23 years of my life. So, I was scared to come here. I was petrified, actually. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do without my mom, my brothers, and my dad. So I felt, I felt really good with South Carolina. I didn't want to go somewhere 8 hours away just to play football and be away from my family because my family is everything that I have. And I'm so glad to be at South Carolina right now.
So you did take a visit to South Carolina, right, before you committed?
Yes, sir, I did.
What what was so you've had the conversation with Coach Hardesty. You start to get to know him. He talks to your family. What about the visit? I mean, obviously it must have went pretty well, but what were some things when you were taking that experience in that maybe stood out or caught your attention that helped led you back to here officially?
Once I got there, I mean, I had an amazing recruit, Kylie.
Mhm.
She just pretty much made me feel comfortable. She just made me feel like I was already a player. She felt like it made me feel like she already knew who I was because she's such a great people's person. And I think my meeting with Coach Beamer, like the last day, I
Mhm.
think that what got me committed. I think I committed like maybe like 2, 3 days later, but I think that talk with him just made me feel special. He made me feel like a special individual, not just because I was a football player, but who I am as a person.
Was that in his office that you
Yeah,
sat down with him?
that was in his office. We talked for about a good 15, 20 minutes, and I knew right away that I was going to commit here.
Well, that's got to be like so. You're sitting there with him. That view of the stadium right over there in like from
Mhm.
his office. Um, that's got to have maybe a little effect. Like I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's probably got a strong effect to where you're sort of visualizing what it's going to be like at South Carolina, but right there in the distance, not too far, is
Mhm.
the stadium, and Beamer's probably talking about the atmosphere and you playing there and all these things. What was just was he able to sort of put a vision into words, I guess, as y'all were meeting?
Oh yeah, for sure. I just like I visited the stadium and I just looked around and I said, "Wow." Like my family, my mom, dad, and brother was like, "This is just beautiful." They've never
Mhm,
been in a stadium that big. We watched a couple of pump up videos. Some game highlights, and all I could see was the crowd. I mean, like, cause when they do that little sandstorm,
mhm,
oh, it is amazing. It's beautiful. And then just from a perspective, everything's just close by. Everything is beautiful. I could tell they put a lot of hard work, money. Everything is different in the SEC.
mhm.
It's everything is bigger, facilities are way bigger. Um, the players are way bigger. Um, I feel like just the atmosphere here is just amazing all around, from the fans to the players to the coaches to the family that comes out. Yeah,
So, Christian, Pat DeMarco told a great story about you. I believe this was right when spring practice was about to start, and I believe as Pat said that you had come and asked for the playbook, and they were like, Christian, we're not doing install yet, and you were like,
mhm,
well, I need my playbook, like
yeah,
let's get this thing rolling. And he was telling that story to illustrate, you know, that you're a conscientious guy, that you care about the mental side of the game and wanted to go ahead and dive into the playbook.
mhm.
So, how big of your game, or how big of a part of your game is that to sort of have the film study and the playbook stuff down like the back of your hand, and how has the transition been to playing in a pretty new offense compared to probably what you were doing at Wake?
Yeah, so I mean, Wake Forest kind of, taught me that fundamentals is key. Watching film is important, because I spent countless hours in the film room, um, and I think that kind of made me a better player because I'm looking at the way some linebackers like twitch up when they're blitzing. I like to see like their tendencies, like when they like on blitz pickups. Because some people like to bull rush you. I want to know how low is he gonna get, like how fast is he coming. I want to know like sir, I want to know like what to expect when I'm in the game.
Mhm.
Because once I'm not thinking, I'm just reacting at that point. I'm just playing football. I'm having fun. I don't want to think too much while I'm playing, and then coming into a different offense, I was scared because it's different, we did signals at Wake. It wasn't a whole sentence to tell me what I got. It was just a simple 2 words, boom, I knew what I was doing. But coming here, it's it was challenging at first. I would say that my first couple of weeks in practice, I got a couple of MAs and everything because I just didn't know. Like sometimes I would hear the call, but then I'm hearing the whole call and I'm just like, I don't know what I have now. But I mean, now that I'm, like spring ball's over, I know pretty much the whole playbook. Um, I studied a lot in my off
Mhm.
time. I would come home right after practice in the morning, hit the playbook. I would ask the coaches for like the script for the next day, so I at least have something in my mind just to know that this is what I have here. This is what I got. I will run through like plays in my head, like while I'm just laying in the bed. I would just be like, I just read off like what I have and try to execute my assignment in my head.
How much do you think, going through that and learning this scheme, this system, the way it's laid out with the terminology, how much do you think that prepares you for the next level? I know that's something Satterfield has talked about, that it being just an NFL approach to offensive football. Do you think when you make the transition to the next big jump to the NFL, that going through that is going to help prepare you for that?
Oh yeah, I mean that's another reason why I chose South Carolina because they're a NFL ready offense. Um, so when Coach Satterfield, I feel like he is preparing us for the NFL. I have a couple of friends that just got drafted a couple of years ago, and they've explained how hard their playbook was. Their playbook is big, like it's humongous, but the the play calls that they have in the NFL are very similar to what Coach Sat is calling for us.
So, and I got to ask you while I got you, man, the Wake Forest offense. So, that's got to be one of the more unique approaches that I've seen in
Mhm.
college football. What exactly is that? I mean, the long mesh, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what do you call it? What I mean, are there any other schemes you know of that have that long, like, and for those who don't really haven't seen it, you have to go look at it on YouTube, but it's like the quarterback and the running back, like are riding that mesh point before it's either a handoff or a pull, um, longer than anybody else in the country, I think. So what was
Mhm.
that like interesting to get used to, and what are the like advantages and disadvantages of that?
As a running back, it took some time to get used to because you're not used to just skipping or walking to the defense really. So, I mean, but as a running back, that scheme can make you or break you really.
Mhm,
Um, if you're just impatient, you're just not gonna get anywhere because we just do like as for Wake Forest, they do a lot of double teams. So they like to work up double teams to the linebacker. So that's what why we ride so long in the mesh because we're trying to open up. We're like a pass first team,
mhm.
but I mean, if in the ACC, like safeties like to come down fast. So once a safety comes down fast, you can just throw it right over top of their head. We got a skinny post going behind them. So I mean, for a running back, you just never know when you're going to get the ball. Really, that's the only downfall of it. You can get the ball with a linebacker just being in your face because I mean the quarterback doesn't have time to pull it. So I mean it's a unique offense, and I think Coach R does it like he teaches teaches us well. We do a lot of just one on ones with the quarterback. We're just practicing the
Mhm.
rides. We're practicing who we have to pick up. I mean, I think that's an offense just for Coach R because he's so good at teaching it.
Yeah, and I mean every offense has its pros and cons, man. Obviously, it has certainly worked, and
Mhm.
it's just it's very unique. But I think probably drives some defensive coordinators crazy. I would think, man,
Oh
as
yeah.
far as the linebackers just not really knowing what the
Mhm.
heck is happening on any given play. Then you got a tight end all of a sudden running past them down the seam.
Mhm.
So yeah, y'all scored a lot of points in that, man. So I had to ask.
Mhm.
So and you talked about it earlier, man. You were in Winston Salem pretty much your whole life.
Mhm.
You talked about the mindset of what it was like to leave home. Uh, has it has it been fulfilling? Like I'm sure you do miss home at times, but has it been has it been good for you in the long run to sort of branch out and get out of that comfort zone and land at South Carolina?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was talking to my mom the other day. Like I said, I want to live in Columbia when I get older. It's just everything is here. I don't need to go anywhere. Like if I was in Winston, I would have to go home and get my mom's food because I didn't feel like eating anything out here. But there's just so many variety of places like I can go to. I just can't to all of them. I just like every time I see a new restaurant, I put it in my notes and I want to go visit.
Christian, this has been really fun, man. It's been really good. We at Garnet Trust appreciate you taking the time. We want to obviously anybody listening, anybody watching, if you want to support interviews like this one with Christian, support Garnet Trust being able to find other NIL deals, check out GarnetTrust.com. And Christian, final thought I have for you: you've experienced Williams Bryce for the spring game.
Mhm.
Looked like a pretty good what do you call it? The Gamecock walk looked like a
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
people
a
for a
lot
spring
of
game.
people. That is the most people I've seen just waiting for any team like that in like for a game. Like we have like a deacon walk, but that looked like it could fill up a stadium kind of. It was a lot of people and a lot of people actually knew who I was, actually knew like some of the transfer who I was walking with. Everybody's calling each other's names out. It was just it was just fun just being in that atmosphere right there at that time. Like I never experienced anything like it.
And that was for a scrimmage. So
That's for screen. Imagine again. I can't even. I don't even want to. I can't even imagine or picture how many people it's going to be.
that's I don't know if you know this. So college football, I saw this today. Season opener for all of college football is 100 days away from right now. As
Mm.
we're recording this, y'all's opener is 107 days away, so it's 1 week later. Um, what's the excitement level for running out there? They got some new LED lights and stuff I saw
Oh, I
too that are
saw.
being
Yeah, I saw
installed.
that. Hmm.
What's the excitement level for seeing Williams Bryce completely full and running out there in the garnet and black, man?
I know it's just going to be. I know I'm going to have jitters when I go out there because I never played in front of a crowd that big. I never played in a stadium this big, so I'm very excited to be up there. I'm very excited to actually just step on the field and look around at all those amazing fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Christian Beal-Smith. Again, Christian, we appreciate you taking the time, man. We'll be watching you. Good luck the rest of the way. Good
Yes,
luck in
sir.
those Luke Day workouts, man, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.